Well, I never thought I'd say, hell yeah, Bob Odenkirk action star, but here we are. So, hi. We're here to talk about the little action movie that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And, I started hearing about this like a month ago.
Saul Badman.
Where I just saw like some making of this, or Bob Odenkirk doing action sequences, and yeah, this looks cool.
I saw the trailer and I was like, I'd be down for this.
Yeah, and turns out I'm still pretty fucking down for it.
Yeah. It's very important. I mean, John Wick went for a certain measure of gravitas, you know?
Yeah.
It does try to get you emotionally invested, at least in the sense of like, oh, his wife died and he got the puppy and now the puppy's dead and you gotta murder the guys who killed the puppy. Like, that makes sense. But, you know, this is a lot lighter in its setup.
Yeah, like this one doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah,
it's it's firmly tongue-in-cheek, but not trying to be a comedy.
It has its comedic moments.
It does, but it's not outwardly saying like, haha, funny jokes. It's more just like, you know this is kind of silly.
Yeah.
We know this is kind of silly. We're just gonna lean into that.
It knows that it's just making a few characters that will be interesting to watch and moving them around so that you're going to get these action sequences. You're not getting some kind of high drama going with it. It's very much just like, Bob Odenkirk, he's going to beat the fuck out of some guys. And yeah, it does that.
Yeah, it's like if you want like the wit and charm of Saul Goodman just mixed with like the gunplay of, not as much, but the gunplay of like John Wickman's Home Alone.
Yeah, it's weirdly, it's a little grittier
Yeah.
than John Wick in terms of the action. John Wick is a lot more gun focused. He's younger. He's a lot more trained in martial arts and stuff.
Yeah.
This is a dude who is literally, like, the bus fight is a great example.
Yeah, they're just like, it's more like this guy's clearly not in his prime anymore.
No,
he's taken a few lickings. He's a little out of it.
Yeah, and
he's just kind of winging it.
he's kind of using his surrounding. Like, he gets on the bus and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you guys up, and initially he does not entirely fuck them up because he's out of practice, but there's a lot of, you know, using his surroundings as practical weapons. There's some pretty brutal fucking violence in this. I was surprised.
Yeah, like I said, it has as far as like cinematography and choreography goes, it has a smoothness of John Wick.
Yeah, it does. It's definitely you can see how it's from the same people.
With just the. If John Wick had a midlife crisis,
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be this movie.
Well, that's the thing. This dude is similarly a guy who, and this is not really spoiler territory. It's in the trailer. It's a basic premise, and the plot is like, there's a couple surprises that are fun that I don't think we should give away. But like,
yeah, like I don't think like you're not really coming here for the plot. You know?
Yeah, but there's still a couple of moments where you're like, fuck yeah, but generally it's, you know, it's a dude who quit the game to go and be a family man, and really in this situation it's less a matter of, you know, they came after my family and more a matter of I'm bored of being this placid, boring family guy with all these fucking, like, there's clearly like there's a cop at the beginning and there's a couple of other characters, his neighbor, his wife's brother, who are just these guys who are basically emasculating him. And
I actually did like the movie had to say about masculinity. Actually,
yeah,
really
I did
like
too.
That. Yeah.
It is also something that you will. It's the same thing when you talk about like classic martial arts. When you talk about people who are actually, you know, a lot of things. Like when you talk about people who are in deep when it comes to military operations and violent stuff, they know that it's not something to pump your dick up with. They know it's something that you keep in the back, and that the violence is the last resort, and you should not be killing people that you don't have to kill. And that's demonstrated in the first home invasion, where he holds back when he, you know, his son takes one to the face, but like, he knows that he's not trying to kill these people, that they're kind of desperate and scared.
Yeah.
When he gives that breakdown of what happened, like, you understand that a bit better. And I like that they had that, and even though he's being kind of humiliated by these other guys, he knows that they're not the kind of men that he's trying to be.
Yeah, like it has kind of interesting commentary about like, you know, real masculinity, like like what it really means to actually be this person. Often involves, you know, compassion, thinking things through, being reasonable, only acting when it's absolutely necessary.
But
with
also,
some pettiness.
But also, it does have something to say about being too complacent to the point where it just erases you entirely.
That is also true. Yeah.
Now, granted, he does overcorrect, as he states in the movie. He overcorrected, but there is the whole idea of you know, I'm not trying to be one of these dudes who's just beating his chest. I tried to get out for a reason. I've seen the worst side of it.
Yeah.
But the movie does have the message that you don't want to be him at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, like it's remember, it's like you're not like. This is, it's kind of like what all movies like this should do. It's like at the end of the day, you do not want to be this person.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's also like, you know, your son won't respect you, your wife will basically disconnect from you. You're just not going to be an interesting man. But at the same time, he does show like. I may have overcorrected. I think that was pretty funny.
And that goes back to Bob Odenkirk is just a very charming actor.
Yeah,
and
there were times when it was a bit cheeseball, but that's the fun. Like, they know what they're doing. They're not trying to be like. Bob Odenkirk is not trying to be taken seriously necessarily as an action star. He knows that he's not Keanu Reeves. He's not someone half his age. He's getting up there, and but he's still capable of fucking some dudes up with some creativity, and that's really what it focuses on. That he knows what he's doing.
Yep. And in that regard, it works. The action scenes are a lot of fun to watch.
It is a lot of fun
from beginning to end. There's some very creative uses here,
and even the action scenes that are even the scenes that are not action scenes are still pretty fun to watch because the characters are fun. There is a lot of humor. It's interesting how it keeps it interesting throughout the whole movie.
The setups and the escalations like keep it interesting no matter what frame you're watching. To the point where I was thoroughly invested from beginning to end.
It is pretty creative. I don't know. It stayed interesting. It stayed fun. So it knows what it is. It knows what it's doing. It's not trying to do much else. And if you're looking for that kind of movie, you know, this will give it to you.
I personally had a blast.
Yeah, I had a great time. We were laughing a bunch of the time. Like, it was both laughing as in like, woo, murder, and like laughing as in like, that's a pretty funny joke.
Yeah, like it's been a while since I've seen like a really good action movie.
Yeah. So especially in a theater.
Yeah, especially in a theater. So that was really fun to watch.
Stay safe, but you know, they are doing social distancing in AMC theaters. Like, they have pretty good rules set up.
Yeah, so like, and of course Christopher Lloyd's in this. He's pretty fun. That's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer.
No, I know, but like it was good to see Christopher Lloyd again.
Kind of just hamming it up for his own intents and purposes.
Everyone in this movie is just having a good time. So
like, there's this part, without giving away spoilers, this part just like Christopher Lloyd just walking around, just smiling and giggling like a little schoolgirl. Just clearly having a fucking blast.
Yeah, he's like, I shouldn't be doing this at my age, but hey, this is a good time. But yeah, it's great. It's a fun time. It's not like a good movie, but it's a good.
I don't know. I'd argue it's a good movie for what it's set up.
It's a good action movie. This is not. You're not talking about an Oscar contender here.
No.
That's what I mean. Like, you're not going for the Oscars. You're going for having some fun with some guns.
Like,
and
I would still argue this is an objectively good movie for what it's trying to do and what it's trying to.
For what it's trying to do. But it's not like, it's not going to be developing any characters.
It's not the father. You know,
it's not.
It's not the father. It's not anything like that. It's a movie that knows exactly what it wants to be and succeeds exactly what it wants to be.
Yeah.
Kind of like you know, John Wick for boomers. Kind of a little bit.
Or you know, or like, I could see teenagers having a perfectly fun time with this.
Yeah, I mean, like, definitely the soundtrack definitely leans towards the older generation, I felt.
Sure, yeah.
Like, it kind of feels like a better version of The Equalizer, I feel like. Which was another kind of middling kind of movie, but also has a very similar climax, not giving anything away.
Okay.
But this one just plays Denzel Washington with Bob Odenkirk, and surprisingly it works better. So yeah. I don't know. This was a ton of fun. I had a great time with this, and just I also love the soundtrack. Yeah. Because I love old stuff, older music.
Yeah.
So,
if you're looking to just have a fun little action movie, like just this will absolutely fit the bill.
This was worth checking out for a matinee.
Yeah.
I would have paid full price for this, but of course we still got A-list, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I can't really think what else to say. Short review. It's really good. I really liked it. I'd watch it again.
Yeah. It's very easy to do a short review for something we like. We're just like, yep, it's good. Go see it.
Just go watch it. I don't want to give anything away. Just have fun with it. Let the prizes speak for themselves.
I think there's like this ongoing thing where, for the most part, it's very rare that we see a good movie that we're willing to dissect really deeply.
And yet when we do, it goes on for fucking hours.
Of course, but if you see a review from us that's like over 40 minutes, chances are we hated it. So, like, especially if you got me on there, because I will talk a lot about how, like, each detail that pissed me off at Astra. Boy,
Oh yeah.
No, that's up there as like one of my most memorable reviews. Because the drive back, just letting it fester on the whole drive back and just being like, oh, this was terrible.
I just remember that was a review, just of you talking continuously for like 20 minutes and then going, what do you think?
No, it was
That's fine.
It was 6 minutes.
Was it 6?
I've shown it to people. I've seen it. Like, the first 5 or 6 minutes is just me yelling about how shitty it was. And then you're like, hey, it was okay. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. And by the end of the and then the review, you're like, oh no, you're right. It was worse than I thought.
Yeah. It was one of those. There have been a few of those where, like, this is like, I was kind of middle in the end. It's like, all right, you've convinced me.
No, because you didn't care. Like, you were just like, sometimes you just check out and you're just like, I guess. But I'm like, no, this bothered me. And you're like, yeah, I guess, yeah.
When you put it like that.
If I was trying to care about it, yeah, no, that was actually not, that was like insulting. Like, so. All right, anyway, yeah, Nobody, pretty good.
Yeah. I can't think what comes out this week that we need to check out other than
Godzilla vs. Kong, baby!
I was just gonna say, I'm so excited.
We're doing it!
I know you and I are gonna see it, like, opening day or possibly a couple days later.
Depends on how you feel after your vaccine.
Because I'm getting my second vaccine this week. I'm very excited about that.
And if you start feeling kind of woo, we won't go. But if you're not,
if it's a happy woo, then I'll go.
Yeah, no, if he's doing okay, we're going for it. Yeah.
I know Gray wants to get involved too, so I might have to wait a couple days for the review. So I'll have to
tell him to hustle his ass.
Well, I will.
Yeah. No, I want to, because, well, I want to do the. Okay, we'll talk about this later.
Anyway. Yeah, we'll do the logistics later.
All right.
But other than that, yeah, I don't know what else is out, so we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, if you're capable, go and be able to do it safely. I recommend Nobody.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Bye. Such a weird contrast from like our 4-hour review we just released.
Yeah. Right.